Your heart's in the ground, frozen over. My heart's in the sky, supernova.
Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my tattoos, their meanings, and my experience. Without further ado, let's get into the video. So I'm going to start about talking about losing my tattoo virginity. So it actually happened in August of 2017. A little bit of background actually about me is that I really wanted to get tattooed. I knew I've wanted tattoos since I was 15, and I had a general idea of the tattoos that I wanted and the meanings that I wanted them to have. So I had a pretty good understanding of tattoos. My boyfriend has sleeves of tattoos, and I've been with him to go get his tattoos. So I'm pretty familiar with the aftercare. I'm pretty familiar with the whole process of them as well. So I didn't have too much to learn in that aspect. But a lot of the tattoos that I wanted were really small. And when you go to a tattoo artist, they usually do it by piece. But if I was going to buy each piece individually, even if I wanted a small, teeny tiny dot tattooed, they were going to charge $80. So I decided that I was going to get 4 tattoos all of my first session, which is crazy, but I knew that I wasn't going to have a problem with the pain, and I knew I really wanted these 4 tattoos really badly. So basically on my iPhone I have a list of different tattoos that I wanted, and I just picked the 4 smallest ones on my list, and I went and called a bunch of different tattoo places in Toronto. Since I finished work at 9 in Toronto, I decided that I was going to look for a studio that was open later, and I found one on King Street in Toronto. I'll leave all their information in the description below. The studio was called Abstract Arts, and they were open until 12 midnight. I went there and I talked to the lady already on the phone, and she said there are some artists that do hand tattoos and finger tattoos. So I was really excited to hear about that, and that all of my expectations would be met at the studio. So basically when I went to the studio, I sent her all the tattoos that I had wanted, and she just took them and traced them onto the paper, and then we were ready to go. So now I'll get into the 4 tattoos that I got in my first session and their meanings. So the first tattoo that I got was a semicolon on the inside of my left middle finger. And I love this tattoo and the placement. It all has a meaning behind it. So if you guys are not familiar with something called the Semicolon Project, I'll be sure to leave a link in the description down below. But basically it's a project about suicide awareness, depression, anxiety, and mental health. In literature and in writing, a semicolon means the writer or the author wanted to stop the sentence, but they decided to continue on, and that can translate into life and people with mental health illnesses, because when you want to end your life, you're deciding to continue, and that's what the semicolon really means. So I decided to get it on my left hand because I write with my left hand and I'm left hand dominant. So when I reach for things, I tend to do it with my left hand. And the placement on the finger, I wanted it to be so that if I went like this and went okay, that you're going to be able to see the tattoo. So basically every time I say I'm going to be okay or I'm okay, you can see the tattoo, and it's just a reminder that even though I want to end my life, or even though I would have wanted to end my life, that I'm so grateful that I'm able to continue on. So the second tattoo that I got is on the outside of my left hand, and it is my last name Faulkner in my grandfather's handwriting. And I absolutely love this tattoo, and I knew I wanted to get it for a while. It's actually inspired by Kaylin Nicholson here on YouTube. I'll link her channel in the description down below. I believe she has her last name and her grandfather's handwriting on the outside of her right hand. So basically, because I love writing and I'm a very creative person and I'm left-handed dominant, every time I write or I paint, my left hand touches the paper. So I wanted it to symbolize that everything that I'm signing or everything that I'm putting my name on basically is something that I believe in and that supports my morals and my ethics. And I also wanted to get it on the outside because it's like a reminder every time I grab things, or if I see it in the mirror, it's something that I can look at and be true to who I am and be grateful for the person that I've become through everything that I've been through. I always knew that I wanted a tattoo to commemorate or represent my grandfather. He passed away when I was 10 and he was really prominent in my life, and I knew that no matter what, if I was to get married, nothing would change the fact that I will always be a falconer, that I will always possess those traits, and that I will always be true to me. So I keep that to remind myself that even in a world filled with social media and expectations, that I should always stay true to who I am. So the third tattoo that I got, well, the third and fourth one kind of go together. They're on the outsides of both my ankles. So on the outside of my left ankle, I have a seashell, and that represents my childhood nickname, Shell. And I decided to get that for my parents, and just as like a reminder of, like I said, of who I am. And it also kind of goes with my love for the beach and for water, which is the tattoo on the outside of my right ankle, and it is a tattoo of an outline of a wave. And I love the wave tattoo because I'm an Aquarius. I love being in the water. I'm such a water baby. Anytime I'm in a pool or a bath or like taking a shower, that's where I feel like the safest and most comforted. So I wanted to get that, and I wanted them both close to the ground. Instead of getting a foot tattoo, because they're really hard to heal, I decided the ankle would be best. And it's something that you can like hide pretty easily. They're not super large. I didn't want any like super big tattoos. So I'm really pleased with those tattoos, and the healing processes for every one of them was amazing. And I actually ended up going to another tattoo studio. It's across the street from the cafe that I work at in Toronto. They just opened up, and the staff that are at that tattoo shop used to come in for coffees all the time, and I would tell them about my ideas. And one day the store manager came in and gave me a $50 gift certificate that expired on January 1st of 2018. So 2 days before the new year, on December 30th, 2017, I went and I got 2 new tattoos and 1 touch-up. So I just got the falconer touched up, and the artist, CT, did an amazing job. I'm going to link his Instagram and the shop that I went to down in the description if you're ever in the Toronto area. He is amazing, and I'll be going to him from now on. He did an amazing job with touching this one up, especially because he didn't see the original. I love the way it looks, and the healing process was great for this. I had no peeling, scabbing, flaking, nothing. It was crazy. I don't know if it's because I've already been through the first experience with my tattoos and my body's gotten used to healing pretty quickly, but I never had any problems that I did with my first set of 4 tattoos. So the 2 new tattoos that I got the number 8 on the inside of my ring finger, so basically opposite to the semicolon on my right hand. And it's because, like I said, I'm left-handed dominant, so when I count with my fingers, I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So my 8th finger happens to be my middle finger on my right hand side, and I also put it here because every time I pick things up, I'll see it. So again, it is in my grandfather's handwriting because he means a lot to me. The number 8 has a lot of meaning to me. Basically, my birthday is February 8, 1998. All my childhood houses, telephone numbers, anything good that's ever happened into my life has some sort of correlation to the number 8, which I think is really cool. And I wanted that on my body for sure, but I wanted it in my grandfather's handwriting to give it more meaning. Like kind of like I have like a good luck charm. I also really like it because the way that the 8 is written and the way he tattooed it on, because he did put it in Photoshop and zoom in on it, it was able to be like a little bit thicker, and also from the side it kind of looks like an infinity, which I really, really like. And for some reason, like, it just brings me joy when I look at it. So when I saw the tattoo and the stencil being put on, I knew for sure that that's something that I wanted on my body for the rest of my life. It has less meaning than my other tattoos, but it's something that I still really wanted. And the last tattoo that I got in that session is behind my ear. It is a music note, and it's an 8th note, again, because 8 is a lucky number for me, and I'm just so connected to music. I went to a regional arts school in high school, and I studied the flute, and I also did a lot of singing. Music is just something that I find is universally healing. I go to a lot of concerts every year. I'm still very like into singing, and I'm very into music, so I knew I wanted something related to music. So I decided to get the 8th note, and I wanted it near my ear because I always want to be listening. And they say that your left ear is more geared towards your like musical ear, so you can hear more of the tones and more of the music through that. So I decided to get that placed by my ear. Originally I wanted it right on my tragus, but the tattoo artist advised me not to. It's really cute and dainty, and it's pretty much everything that I ever wanted. I love my tattoos, every single one of them. There's not a single one that I regret, and all of them mean something to me, so I really like that. And if you do have something in your life that means a lot to you, I feel like that's a better tattoo to get than something meaningless. Well, that's like pretty obvious. But yeah, that's just a little bit about my tattoos and the experience that I had at Hon Tattoo Studio, which is the second tattoo studio that I went to, was just impeccable. Honestly, everything from being accommodating to my schedule and to being able to do a tattoo pretty much the next day was really great. And the artist, the cleanliness, everything about that shop is amazing. So if you're ever in the Toronto area, I would highly recommend them. Like I said, I'm going to leave all the information in the description down below, so be sure to check them out and follow them on Instagram. Even if you're not in the Toronto area and you want some tattoo inspiration, they are amazing. So that was a little bit about my tattoo experience and their meanings. I'm sure I'm going to be getting more in the near future. So if I do, I'll be sure to update you guys. Or you can follow me on my Instagram at michellelana.98. Everything will be in the description down below, and you can see what I'm up to day to day. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you guys are new. Ring that notification bell so you can be notified every time I post a new video, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys!